Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones minutes.
I warned you, Brad.
Hello, friends. Ever traumatized an entire generation of moviegoers because you were rated the same as Footloose, The Never-Ending Story, and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo? Tom Taylor, how much tasteful side boob is too much tasteful side boob?
I'm trying to think of the right measurement. Are we doing this in inches, centimeters, grams?
I prefer hectares myself, but
all right. I'm going to go look up hectare, and I'm going to say, just off the top of my head, 5 hectares.
so, I'm with you.
Okay.
Gerald Christopher Marcus Porter, how long has it been since you've kept a running tally of your non-sexual-related F-bombs?
Let's see. What is this? Well, it's a new month.
You got to roll over on the 30th. You got to roll over.
Yeah. It's a new...
So, Pete Mummert, when was the last time you wrote an angry letter to your congressperson demanding a more distinct dividing line in the war on violence and depravity? And which side of the line did you fall on?
That would have been last week. And I came down on the side of more violence, actually.
There you go. There you go.
I've been watching a lot of Temple of Doom.
My name is George Hendricks, and I'd like to introduce you all to my partner in mischief and mayhem, Neil Brown.
Yeah, that's Neil Christopher Marcus Brown.
I was going to say, come on.
Strangely enough. It's quite a coincidence.
Are you guys related?
Only in the middle part.
That's good enough for me. Neil, in this particular arrangement, are you mischief or mayhem?
Well, I'm normally mischief, and, you know, I really love the guys on Harry Potter Minute, and they just rapped, so I'm just going to go mischief. What did they say again? I can't remember now. Oops.
Manhandle?
Mischief managed.
Mischief managed.
Yes.
There you go. You can cut that, Pete.
That's fine. I prefer to be mayhem.
Edit that nicely.
Neil and I host the Mogwai Minute and do the same thing to Gremlins as Tom, Jerry, and Pete do to Indiana Jones. Namely, think about it way too much 1 minute at a time.
Oh my God.
Gremlins is also 50% of the cinematic dynamic duo responsible for countless childhood nightmares and the PG-13 rating. Mm-hmm. Thanks for having us on your show, guys. I promise we wiped our feet.
Wait a minute. Your voice is way better than everybody else's.
Yeah, tell me about it, Jerry.
I feel like, I don't know, it's like I'm playing in my own backyard and the ball keeps bouncing off my foot and going out of bounds. This isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, now you know how I feel every day, Jerry.
Sometimes I'll just call and leave Neil voicemails just to make him feel bad.
Yeah, Tracy loves them.
I'll just read like the weather report or, stuff in the news.
Well, I'm not sure if our intrepid host is going to introduce the minute itself or not.
Oh, he is.
Oh, all right.
You try and stop him.
I'm on a roll now. I'm pretty much just all like a runaway minecart. It's all downhill from here.
Wait, do we get a question for you?
Oh, yeah,
I never answer questions.
All right.
We open this minute with breaking Smokey the Bear's heart and close a minute later with a big, dark, wet tunnel.
Oh, God.
What?
This episode is going to be wall-to-wall Wilhelm screams.
What, Smokey?
Wilhelm screams.
Yeah. I will not have any Smokey talk in my house.
How about Husky Bear?
Husky the Bear.
That sounds like something. I live next to the Castro in San Francisco. That's a completely different thing.
Yeah, it is.
What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, so who brought the ball?
I thought you were going first there, Jer.
Oh, all right. Say, minute 100. Here we are. I
By
love
the
it.
way, I don't
yeah.
mean to interrupt, but this is minute 100. That's kind of huge,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
That's
like
a milestone.
minute 100.
our
Yeah.
math is based on
Yeah.
10, and so we have to make a big deal out of like the zeros and stuff. So that's
Yeah. Minute
Carry
100.
the one, and there you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
good for us.
High five.
In the opening seconds of this minute, I love that we get a really nice shot of the Temple of Doom letter openers. That kind of falls down by that lantern, and and this is for you, Pete. Do you think that belonged to Pat Roach, and he would use that to lovingly open letters from his English mother?
That's what he was clutching to his chest when he. Remember when he was clutching it to his chest when he went up to talk to Indy and then the cage?
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So my question is, why did the breaking of the lamp have to coincide with the knife dropping? Why was there needed to be fire in this whole thing? I didn't get that.
It's a weird thing because the camera lingers over it, and the trope is that if the camera lingers over that, there's a fire that's going to start in a minute, like it's going to hit a curtain,
Yeah,
and then the
Chekhov's
place is
broken
going to go up in
lamp. It
flames.
has to happen.
Yeah.
That's the poker out of Tote's hand going over by the curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and they,
Exact
they
same
linger
thing.
and they hold and they show the blade and the flame and then nothing. Especially given how this minute ends, it has no significance.
Even if it
Yeah.
was like a huge conflagration, it'd be out in about 30 seconds.
And not only that, they choose to add danger woodwinds and strings.
It's classic
Danger
misdirection from Spielberg. It's
Yeah.
it's using all the tricks.
The
He's
music is, clearly danger woodwind mischief.
Yeah. Maybe it's the way like the camera can't see Shorty without playing his music. Like they can't see Danger Fire without playing the appropriate music for that.
Maybe.
Danger Fire. That sounds
Danger
like
Fire.
That's like a very off Broadway musical.
That was the worst Clint Eastwood movie ever, Danger Fire.
No, I think you mean Foxfire.
Yeah, Foxfire. It's like came out in '82.
No, Danger Fire was a really lousy sequel. He just phoned it in.
We did get a great that doink sound when his arm hits the post. It's almost like when that railroad tie gets thrown over, which I love. And I don't care what universe you're from, that's gotta hurt.
I do care what universe you're from, and stop it.
That'll really affect his tennis game.
It will.
So obviously you guys got George and I on the show because we're real life high speed minecart racing experts, right? So
Yeah.
where do you want to start? You got a bunch of questions, or where do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, somebody asked last minute, is it more of a like luge kind of thing where like your position in the cart affects the weight? I'm sorry, the trolley affects the weight or the speed or the steering, or is it all just sort of you let the track take you where it goes?
It's pure momentum. Tom.
It's all in
That's
braking.
asking. And when you get in that sucker, it is just pure speed from the moment you left go to the moment you end.
And I've been wondering this the whole time too. Like if we've got 2 adults and a kid in the first cart, and then we've got 3 grown men in the other cart. Now, which one should be going faster?
The one that furthers the plot.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay.
The reason, of course, they catch up is because the aerodynamics in the second cart are better. The air drag coming from ahead has been taken away from the cart in front.
Oh, right.
But in this
Yeah,
particular
they're
case,
drafting.
because they're in these particular carts are the MindMaster 3000s, which they did a lot of work on to reduce the drag on these. So that's why they're going so fast.
I did not recognize that.
Yeah.
Their distinctive tail fins are really what set them apart.
Yeah, and the problem, of course, was they were notorious for the defective braking system. And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's it.
That was Ralph Nader had a field day with that one.
Yeah.
He did.
But they phased that whole lever system out in the early 40s, I think.
Well, technically, once you start, they don't stop. So they are only really unsafe at 1 speed.
Right.
How did they stop these actually? Like what is we have been wondering what is the purpose of these cars just going down? I'm sorry, trolley. Jerry gets mad if we don't call them trolleys. What is the purpose of these trolleys?
Trolley danger.
Like are they just to carry slag out to the river and dump it? Or
Don't call Willie slag. That's awful. That's awful. She's trying.
That's very offensive to British people.
Exactly. I'm deeply offended.
Sorry, everybody.
Got to Wilhelm that one.
yeah, gonna willy that one.
But only with a British
Willie?
accent.
Wilhelm?
We get this second chance thuggee, and he reminds me of our Raiders Nazi dad. You guys remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. He's like the last guy in the truck with the hat and this thuggy is a bit crafty, and he sneaks up from behind, and he gets a second chance, much like the Nazi dad, and he delivers Indy a punishing shoulder punch, exactly like our Nazi dad did, and it's the same shoulder too, and he gets disgustingly run over.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's that old missed punch guard still there in the back of the runaway minecart gag. It's a classic.
But wait, is this the guy who we've been, theorizing is actually a sleeper agent good guy?
I hope not.
Because but he was the guy who Indy was grappling with at the end of the last minute.
Yeah, he yelled "Kumbaya" as his code word and jumped into the cart.
But see, I think given his actions here, I'm doubting that he might actually be a good guy. He wails on Indy, and he has every chance not to.
Well, you could be a good guy and say, you know what, this guy's a poor excuse for an archaeologist, and look how he's treating this kid.
Yeah, he didn't read the memo with the safe words on it and stuff.
Yeah.
He didn't read the
Yeah, and he's trying to get on the good guy's minecart, and they try to save him, but he accidentally fell off the back.
Well, if Kumbaya activated him, maybe somebody said Kumbaya again, and it turned him back off, and he went back to being.
Oh, maybe. How about a nice game of Kumbaya?
What if he just wants to be Indiana Jones, and he's only gonna kill Indy?
He wants to take over his life.
Yeah.
He just wants the hat.
Yeah.
He wants to single white thuggy him.
He wants to be best friends with Shorty and kind of, sort of, not really have sex, but flirt with Willie.
Yeah.
And he just wants that life.
Well, Willie's definitely not having it.
Well,
No.
who doesn't?
Yeah, we all understand him.
So his real name is Mr. Ripley.
He's very talented.
He's talented.
He is.
Yeah.
He's good.
But do you think he's been drinking the Kool-Aid, or is he just a guy who enjoys a bit of fisticuffs?
Well, we surmise that he's been a good guy all along because he's an expert marksman, and he was able to shoot the switch for to change tracks from about 100 feet from a moving bouncing cart. And then when he was about 12 inches away from Willie, he missed. And then he gets his head bashed with a torch several times, which would have woken him up anyway if he were a bad guy drinking the Kool-Aid. And so we surmise that by him yelling "Kumbaya" and jumping over to the other cart, he was the good guy sleeper agent.
Now, did we verify if it's blunt force trauma that negates the Kool-Aid, or is it fire? Because if he's wearing the turban and he gets hit with a torch, it wouldn't actually burn him.
That's a good question.
Yeah, but he's getting burnt like on the shoulder. It looks like he's hitting those torches with his arm, like the side of his body or something, when they're going by in the in the cart. I don't know. I think we should just assume that he's a good guy, and we should mourn for him for a second because he died tragically and accidentally.
Oh, this is another reason for Jerry to hate Willie. She punches the good guy off the back of the cart.
But her form is not bad. I mean, she lines it up
Yeah.
and she follows through. She's got good shoulder position. She, her fist is clenched properly. She punches like she actually knows what she's doing.
She Lynn Peltzer's that guy.
Yeah, she just levels a hammer of Thor blow.
Yeah, she had a microwave.
And I'm thinking this isn't her first punch.
No.
That's what's fascinating.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder if, like Pete, you were saying that they cut out some of her beating up guys back in the beginning of the mine.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they cut that for this, so that she would just get one really awesome punch and that came out of nowhere.
But it's weird because if they kept that other stuff in earlier, then she has sort of an arc, and she goes from this damsel in distress who's helpless to by the end she's fighting off thuggies and she saves the day and she punches this guy. And then what we get now is just like a random, she happens to land a lucky blow.
Although she was throwing a lot of rocks too at Pat Roach.
She was throwing a lot of rocks.
But is that are we supposed to be? Is she supposed to be sort of learning the, I don't know, mine ropes here and how to become a scrum chum?
Maybe.
Is that her arc here?
Violence is the answer. That's what she's
Sort of.
learning.
So apparently Willie is a lounge singer, a elephant whiner, and a secret capoeira master.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. A chapette. A scrapette.
And you could almost say that the guy that she punches off the back that he got captured.
Oh
meaning they avoided being captured.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Good job,
You like
Neil.
that, George? You like that one?
No, I liked it
Thanks,
a lot.
And by the way, Indy's in love now. Indy beams at her like after she socks that guy. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, there's the woman.
Yeah.
You remind me of this 12-year-old I knew once in Nepal.
He knew what he was doing.
That was wrong, and you knew it.
So who do you think had it worse? Is it the guy who just got bisected by the minecart behind him, or the guys in the minecart who go ass over tea kettle across the chasm into it?
There's the chance that the guy who Willie punched was unconscious by the time he got split in half.
Yeah.
Oh, she just clean knocked him
Yeah.
out.
I mean,
Yeah.
I hope.
Could be.
So maybe those other guys had it worse.
I'm having a minute here. Because if we talk about, okay, we know fire, reverses the Khaled curse, but if intense pain does, and then now I'm thinking about like a half in, half out Pat Roach in the juicer, and I'm like, and he's coming to as his legs are becoming two-dimensional.
Yeah.
He's coming to like, oh my God, this hurts. Wait a minute, what have I done with my life? My mother.
That's why Indy was
Yeah.
trying to save him. He saw the life come back into his eyes or something, or I don't know.
He's like, I know your pain, man. I've been there.
Right. I'm here to talk you through this. Here's some orange slices. Here's a cookie.
Let me tell you about my program.
It's like a double whammo. Right before you die, you realize that you made all the wrong choices.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
you didn't even have free will.
No.
Or those letters he realized he was sending to his twin brother in Africa. They were going to go unanswered.
I have a huge question that is just like, it's like an itch in the back of my, on my uvula. And
Everyone
I
picture
can't
that for a
get it.
second.
Yep.
In the,
Go for it.
just I never ever understood why Indy tells Willie and Shorty to duck when they fly over the broken track.
Because he knows they won't survive, and he doesn't want to see them see the end. He's just like, oh, if they don't see it coming, it's better.
Or is it like, the head between your legs thing on the airplane when the airplane's going to crash or something?
That's so you don't barf.
It is?
Yes.
I thought it was so your neck snaps and you die quickly.
I'll tell you what it is. It's this is the Cairo marketplace. This is Indy making Marion duck.
Oh, it is. Shoving down on the top
Yeah.
of her head like that.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
We've already had a
Just
couple
move.
of shout outs to the Cairo marketplace, and we're going to get a couple more coming up too.
Yeah.
It's also classic minecart racing aerodynamic move. I mean, when you're doing a jump like that on the race,
Oh, I've seen that.
You've got to
You got to keep that drag
as
as low as possible. And also
Exactly.
that helps lower the weight center of gravity a little bit lower, so you stick to
Yeah.
the track a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise, he would
really?
have been killed.
Okay.
But yeah, this moment is like the this is almost like the Yoda lightsaber fight in Attack of the Clones. It's
Yeah.
like in the theater, everyone remembers everybody going, "Oh my gosh, that's great! That's hysterical! Oh my gosh, what a cool!"
Yeah.
But then, like since then, everyone's like, "Oh, would you give me a break?" Temple of Doom. Oh yeah, like the thing's gonna go off the thing and just land on the. Come on, stop it.
Yeah, my note specifically says, I call shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't think they actually did it, George?
And I to this day, I don't know where I stand on this. I don't know if I'm like team, it's fine, it's fun, like, come on, it's a movie
Yeah.
already, or if I'm team, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just stop that.
Yeah.
I really like the sound editing on the bit because it kind of cuts out everything other than Willie's scream.
Yeah, her solo
Yeah.
scream. Or
Yeah.
or was that Indy's?
Yeah.
Was that Indy's scream?
Could be.
I feel like it could have been Indy's scream.
It's got some vibrato. It's really got a nice.
It's got a good timbre to it. Yeah, it's carrying.
And this whole scene, the way this whole thing is filmed it's a really complex shot. Because Indy's trolley is live action. So Indy, Willie, and Shorty are being filmed live. Like it's the actors. And behind them, there is a blue screen showing stop motion animation, like of the cart that flips up over. And then on top of all of that, when that cart smashes into the bridge or into that trestle, there's some rotoscoped drawn in animation.
Oh, cool.
So it's like
Very
it's really an
complicated.
incredibly complex little sequence here.
That's a shot that you can totally tell is like completely special effects, but it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you like
exactly.
it.
It's totally
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think a Wilhelm there would have been a little obvious as why we didn't put one there? Because it feels like at one hand that should have been there, but also it's a little foregone conclusion that he would have put the one there.
Well, they sort of front-loaded them in this movie. There were 2 in like Shanghai, weren't there?
Yeah, there were 2 in Shanghai.
At least, yeah. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe that was their quota for the movie.
I
don't know.
guess.
Because we got a fake one in the Temple of Doom
Right.
itself at one point.
And this is like a bargain basement Wilhelm. It's very Scream-esque, but not like the Wilhelm.
Yeah.
I'm falling. Oh no!
And in the trailer, we got a Wilhelm in the mine. Like right before this, when Indy's fighting on the catwalk, they put in an actual Wilhelm.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
missed
I
that.
believe
Okay.
so. Yeah.
All right.
I believe you. Oh, and then I just noticed this like minutes ago when we cut to Mola Ram and they're about to knock the thing over, the water tower. He actually references, he does like a little ad for, depending on when you're listening to this, the upcoming Movies by Minutes Chicago get-together. He yells, "Go, go, Chicago!" He's telling all the guys to go Chicago. So,
Oh my God.
moviesbyminutes.com/Chicago.
It's all about that synergy.
Yeah. All 5 of us you're listening to on this podcast are going to be there. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
true.
us though. It's just going to be us. And we're going to be sitting in a bar talking to each other about minute by minute podcasts like we do normally, but
Kinda like we're doing
just
right now.
in
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
So actually, don't buy tickets because you'll just distract us.
Or come and give us the money for the tickets, and we'll use them to buy more drinks.
Yeah, thank you.
So I got 2 questions on Mola Ram that I think you've already answered in previous minutes. So feel free to not answer them again. But my questions are: is Mola Ram under the influence of the Black Sleep of the Collie, and does he paint his own head?
I think both of those questions have been raised. I know, but one of them
Yes.
has.
I think they
both have been
yeah,
raised, and I don't
they
think
have.
either has been answered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want
okay.
to. I want to think that he's as he says to Indiana Jones, is a true believer, and that he doesn't need the
Right.
Khalid to become evil. That he's, and that he doesn't think of himself as evil.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I don't need it. I don't need it.
Right.
I'm in it. I'm in this.
Well, I've got a theory about that. I've got a theory about him in the blood because you know how the Joker kind of ingests like small amounts of Smilex over time to make himself immune to it.
Oh yeah.
I think Mola Ram's doing the same thing with the blood.
How could be?
or maybe he just likes the taste.
So I think he's just knocking it back as a regular beverage.
He actually, you have a good point, Tom. He says you'll be a true believer. But if you force someone to drink Khalid, to get them to believe, that's really an ersatz believer.
Yeah, that's true.
He's thinking about, it's the long game he's thinking about, though, you see. So give it 10 years of slowly getting yourself off the blood of Khalid, and then you'll be a true believer.
Yeah.
And then you'll be, but you're not coming to it on your own volition. It's not your own free will there.
Just a bunch of Khalid tourists.
But what do you guys think about, are we allowed to bring in the novelization?
Sure.
Yeah.
Someone's going to bring it in anyway. But in the novelization, I think it's made clear that he is drinking the Khalid.
Oh, really?
And at the end, there's sort of a tragic moment when he kind of wakes up. And I mean,
you're
we'll get
kidding.
there. But so I think the answer is, I don't know if we should cut that part out.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
If you drink the Khalid and it makes you susceptible to other people's wishes, who's giving him orders?
Yeah, that makes the blood of Kali sound like an alien symbiote kind of thing.
Maybe like a crystal skull type thing.
Yeah, maybe like a trans-dimensional, some kind of
I don't know what you're talking about, Pete.
Maybe it's Kali.
Oh, I just woke up. Wait, what happened? Where did I nodded off for a second. Guys, what are we talking about?
Hi, John Hurt.
Is there actually a book to this movie?
I had it. I had this book, and I
That's
don't
really
remember anything
weird.
about it.
You're making Doris cry, by the way, Jerry. She's even referenced it on the show.
I actually remember the very, very end of the novelization, like the last paragraph. I remember that, like, they get back to the village and whatever, a happy ending, everyone's embracing and stuff. And it says, of course, they did make it back to the States, but that's a whole other adventure.
Oh.
The end. I remember that, and I'm like, really? That was it? Why'd that be an adventure? Don't they just get on a plane?
I tell you what you don't get in the book, and this is that Mola Ram has a lovely smile.
Oh,
does.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially when he's giddy with glee, like a schoolboy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so happy.
No,
So
and
happy.
he's standing there waiting for for one thing, the reservoir tip. Isn't that a little much? Don't you think you have enough guys to go after these people? Why do you have to like destroy your entire infrastructure just to watch them out? You don't have all the stones yet, Mola Ram. You're completely undercutting yourself.
Well, we had a theory for that earlier. We were saying that he's going through grief when he realized Pat Roach was dead, and he's not thinking clearly. And he realized that he actually gave Indy the stones back without fighting for him. When he did that little trapdoor thing and did his laugh. And so now he's regretting it, and he's overreacting, trying to get him back.
Don't touch me!
He's trying to hide the evidence that he let Indy have them. He's like, well, if I wreck everything, no one will know that I totally messed up.
Yeah. But he did. We were talking about how Mola Ram we thought he was a bad manager. But I'm going to counter that here because you see him yelling at all of his guys and making sure they're safely out of the way of the water.
He wants them to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Get all the way out of the way. Go to Chicago in the States.
Look, this minute, I think Mola Ram is exposed here. And it's just life is a big sandbox to him. Yeah. And, I'm wondering if he had a wager with Chatterlal and, they sat down before this whole thing and, they had a bet. Like, could he spin some crazy-ass collie arm skirt yarn, I'll start a religion and then I'll get tax exemptions. And then it just kind of like balloons into, this sort of like, this Temple of Doom thing, and it's kind of like Yahweh and the devil and that whole bet with Job, and it's just everything gets all like they just wear crazy for too long. You know what I mean? It was like some crazy ass holiday weekend, and maybe it was a joke and it went too far, and there was a bet, and it was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna do it.
How much was the bet? Was it $1?
I don't know. And they said something, and they knew maybe
Jerry
there was
hasn't
something.
seen Trading Places.
Oh, that's why. Never mind.
Sorry. Maybe this is them just cashing in on the insurance, though, right? Because this could be their end game
It's
all
quite
along.
possible.
Yeah.
Because here he doesn't care about anything anymore. He's just losing his mind, and he's just like, the hell with it all. Just turn over the tower. I don't care who's alive, who's dead. I don't, he didn't fight for the Sankara stones. Like, we don't even know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Some men just want to watch the world burn, Jerry, or in this case, drown. I guess I can't really tell with him. He's all over the map.
But and I wouldn't have a problem with that if you wanted the world to drown. But you don't do it with this half-assed water thimble. I mean, there's not enough there to drown the main hall.
What is this for as well?
Jerry had a good response to that question, Neil. Jerry thought that this was the Kool-Aid container.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, without the red food dye. Yeah.
I think maybe he's flushing out the mine shaft, which everybody's just gonna get a wash in Kool-Aid and just
Teaching everybody a lesson.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I want to talk water for a minute here, because this is an amazing scene, special effects wise.
Yeah, I love this scene.
And you've got these amazing models, and there's even this little miniature conveyor belt, and probably a little miniature pulverized Pat underneath the thing. And they're like little miniature baskets filled with tiny rocks and little tools and stuff. And one of the biggest problems they had with the special effects with this movie was, as Tom mentioned earlier, when you try to use miniatures and water, it tends not to mix because water doesn't scale down. Like drops of water, if you're in a miniature scene and you have a drop of water going through, the drop of water looks like a basketball. It doesn't become a much smaller drop of water.
Oh, wow.
So Dennis Muren and Phil Tippett rigged up this system.
Phil Tippett.
Yep. Where they had little tiny air cannons positioned all along the tunnel, which was, as we mentioned, the tunnel's made out of aluminum foil painted brown, so it looks like rocks. And they have little holes in it all along, and they have little miniature air cannons. And the air cannons shoot the water, and the spray makes it look like the water is forming little tiny droplets of water.
Wow.
So they're basically atomizing the water so it looks miniature.
That's how you scale it down.
That is really smart, and it's amazing that it works as well as it does.
Yeah. And
I can't imagine that being easy.
No, and that tank was 1/4 size, actual size, and they built it in the parking lot. So this whole thing was just an incredible project. Really, the artistry and the technique here is spectacular.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's a great example of kind of old school movie making. Right?
Yeah.
You just don't really see that anymore. It's a sadly a dying art.
Yeah, now it's all CGI and
Yeah.
tennis balls on sticks. A bunch of little water droplets on sticks that look like tennis balls. And,
With tennis balls on them.
Guys wearing khakis, sitting at computers, making cities.
I hate khakis.
Oh, don't get George started.
Khakis.
I'm not wearing khakis right now. So
Thank God.
It's just because Tom's not wearing pants right now. But
Hey, well, you know what? He's not the only one, so high five, Tom.
we come to one of the more unforgivable parts of the movie right here.
okay.
Oh, I know. I know what you're going to say.
Really?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, say
but be 100% honest, and if you're right, we owe each other $1.
Okay. It's one word, figures.
No, well, that is in my notes, but that's not what I was going to say now.
Oh,
right,
you
you
owe
owe me
me
a dollar.
$1, Jerry.
Wait, do we? Okay, yeah. Does that work backwards? Like, do we owe each other our own $1? I don't know. We'll figure this out later. No, but I was gonna. We'll get to figures, but like Shorty, he's yanking on the brake lever and it snaps off, and somehow, especially in this movie, there's no pun about the brake breaking. There's no brake pun there. He says like, "Oh, I made a big mistake" or something like that. It's like,
No, he says, "Uh-oh, big mistake, Indy." He's blaming Indy. He's getting a jab in to Indy for their brake breaking.
you shouldn't have told me to slow down.
Yeah, you should have listened to Suwamu.
How does he not work in like? I don't even know what the line would be, but how does he not work in like a break joke?
Oh, you mean like, oh, can't we get a break?
Or give me a break.
You told me to break, and it broke. I don't know.
Yeah.
We need Eric from the Listeners Crusade to chime in here.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Get on that. And then Willie says figures.
Yeah.
Which I actually like.
I do
Was that
too.
your note that I hated?
You do?
Or that?
Yeah, it's just... Nah.
But who's it aimed at?
Yeah, it's a weird line. It makes no sense because they've just gone through a string of miraculous escapes. And they go through yet one more miraculous escape, and then the thing breaks, and she goes, "Figures."
No, but you know what? That makes sense. Like almost as like a meta thing, like because like yes, it's been this huge like week-long adventure through the mine mine trolley chase and everything, and then they're finally coming to the end of it. Oh, but wait, it's not over. The brake just broke, and they're still going really fast. And there's a water cut. It's like, oh, figures. This scene is never going to end. Like, they're just going to keep piling things on top. And not even like you mind. It's a fun, exciting thing. But it's like, oh, figures. Like, they got to keep ramping it up.
It's a living.
Her brake hurts.
Shorty, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Give me a break. How about that? Give me a break.
Well, I'm thrilled they didn't do that. That's not forgivable. It's not unforgivable that they didn't.
It's just shocking, I guess. And maybe it's not
Yeah.
unforgivable. It's very surprising, and maybe you're right. We dodged a bullet. But
You broke more than a nail.
Yeah.
that's right. What about my nail? You think that's bad?
Just on the big set piece scene as well, that there's a couple of guys you see when the water's really coming out, and you see them running off the screen to the left. And there's one guy right at the back who he's really right underneath it when the water's coming out, when it's tipped over. And I was really worried for that guy for a second, but then right at the end, you just see him come out on the left, and I was like, oof.
Cool. That's awesome.
Just made it.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that's really into water slides. Like, really into water slides.
That's amazing. I just watched it. That's really funny.
I can't believe no one commented on, when the third mine trolley careens off the track and it breaks through the little wooden...
The trestle?
Yeah, the trestle. Yeah, and then the noise it makes is like a Star Wars blaster.
Oh.
It's 100% a Star Wars blaster. It's like...
Add it to the list, Pete.
It's on the list now, yeah.
Yep.
That's Ben Burt reaching for his coffee, and he elbows the wrong button.
Not only that, but a lot of these tunnel shots look very reminiscent to the asteroid and Empire.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
do.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wonder if that was aluminum foil.
Quite possibly. Aluminum foil and air cannons.
And broken brake.
Wait, do you mean the bit in the worm?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
which bit? In the cave? That's no cave.
That's okay.
Okay.
We also had a Shiva whoosh last minute that I forgot to mention. It was, I think, the second one in here, Jer.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, a little more divine intervention.
A little divine
Which I think
intervention there, yeah.
explains the jump in the tracks thing here working.
Oh, that's true.
If we're talking about previous minutes, can I just say that I was really glad that Shorty didn't lose his Giants cap when they kind of yanked him between the two cars.
Oh, yeah.
That was close.
Glad he kept his cap there.
Yeah.
Those giant caps are hard to come
Well, because obviously we wouldn't know who he was if he lost his hat.
Yeah.
This whole series of movies is very, very, very passionate about hats.
Leans a little heavily on him.
Yeah, except Willie doesn't have any great hats, though, does she?
She's
must
a
feel
girl.
left out.
Yeah.
She is a bridal veil.
True.
Yeah, but she loses
It got
pretty
stolen,
quickly.
though. Yeah, that guy takes it from her right before they get on the carts.
Yeah. She wouldn't look bad in a hat.
Yeah, she looked good in the hat.
Does Indy put his hat on her at the end of the movie?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't.
Is it?
You'll get there.
Yeah,
We will.
I don't want to
Let's-
speculate
yeah.
because we haven't gotten there yet.
Do we have that to get through?
I may have made that up.
Yes, Jerry.
Maybe you're
Yes,
wrong.
you
I might
do.
be wrong.
There's a moment.
Well, I'm getting something in here.
Oh,
Something in where? What do you mean?
Something's coming through. Coming through the
Ew.
wire.
Oh, the
It's
wire.
coming alive. This just in from Professor Christy Porter. About this August movie by minute convention. Can I stay at your house, Tommy?
Oh, yes, please do. We got an air mattress with your name on it.
and I think she speaks for everybody, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all staying at your house, Tom.
Yeah. Pancakes at noon.
Bunk beds, pancakes. It's going to be a riot.
Yeah, we don't even need to go to the convention. No. It's gonna be at your house.
In the
Wait,
rec room.
pancakes at noon? Is that a Chicago thing? Pancakes at noon?
No, Neil, that's a universal thing. What's wrong with you?
You sleep in. It's Saturday, so you don't get up at the crack of dawn.
Pancakes at noon, pancakes at 3, pancakes whenever.
Oh, you could put some strawberry jam underneath them and call them pan-cot pancakes.
Whoa.
Wow. That was really
Nice.
good.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's
that was
good.
really good. And you have to you have to punch through the middle. So there's like a hole.
Yeah, you have to eat them with your hands, but like stabbing motions. Just stabbing motions.
I had to put down some tarps before everybody shows up.
Yeah.
It's going to be disgusting.
Well, George and Neil, in case people weren't paying attention at the beginning, maybe you could tell them a little bit about where they can find you guys.
Yeah, we do the Mogwai Minute. We do a minute-by-minute breakdown of Gremlins. We are getting close to getting done with it, so that's exciting. So yeah, if you get tired of these guys, come check us out for a minute because we're just as interesting, but we probably use more profanity.
If you notice all those bleeps at the beginning of this episode,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's us. That's me, really. It's just a constant stream of beeps. I sound like Morse code.
That wasn't Christy at all.
But no, I'm a big Gremlins fan, and
me too.
I know a lot of people that love this movie love Gremlins, and I was on the Gremlins Minute a couple weeks ago, and I think Jerry, you might be going on soon.
Oh yeah. Duck.
And hopefully we can get Tom on a bit later in the run as
Oh,
well.
I'd love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know we tried to a little while ago and it just didn't work out, but yeah.
Our fingers are
there's still
crossed.
time. Okay.
Still got some minutes.
Awesome.
Yeah, don't wait for Gremlins 2, Tom.
I love Gremlins too.
Oh, good. I haven't seen it.
I'll do them both.
And,
Do it live.
Yeah, do it live.
Do it live. Thing sucks. Had to get that in there.
Yeah, thank you. We'll just do this part live, Tom.
Oh, okay. Listen, if you want to end the show, if there's no words on it, all you have to do is go to the Indiana Jones Minute Listeners Crusade on Facebook. You can go there, join the constant conversation, both commenting on the movies and this show and anything else that comes to people's minds. Also find us at IndianaJonesMinute.com. All our episodes are there. And find us on Twitter, Indiana Jones Min. We're omnipresent
And abbreviated.
and abbreviated.
Yep. Give that man a break and do everything he says. And you can join us back here tomorrow, as well as the fine folks over at Mogwai Minute. You guys hate being called fine folks, don't you? You can join those guys over at Mogwai Minute. You can join us back here tomorrow. Don't be like Indy and make a big mistake. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the Indiana Jones Minute.
Mogwai. No.
Oh,
No, sorry, George.
Go,
Figures.
go, Chicago!
Wrong show. Mogwai.
Hey, gang, you're rolling with Rockin' Ricky Rialto, the voice of Kingston Falls, USA.